Howdy everyone, and welcome back to the CrappieEngineer YouTube channel. So, I just finished my freshman year of college, and I've been thinking a lot about what the year actually taught me. Not just the classes, and I'm kind of just talking about the stuff I'd actually sit down and tell somebody if they asked me what I really learned as far as like real world advice goes for school. So, I decided to take some time and write it all down, and it turned into 10 total things. So, I also just want to say up front that this is not really a college video. If you are, you know, just a young man, young adult, then most of this list has nothing to do with school, and it should be at least a little bit helpful for you, whether you're looking for advice or not. So, school is just kind of where I happen to learn it, and let's get right into it. Alrighty, so here's number one, and I'm starting with a thing that kind of had the most impact on me, I'd say. So, to begin, I got absolutely destroyed by my first Calculus 3 exam. And I don't mean that I was just like kind of disappointed with the grade. I mean, I got completely destroyed. And I walked out of that exam not knowing exactly what happened to me. And I kind of look back at this moment as a fork in the road because the grade was already done and it already happened. No amount of feeling bad about it changes the number. And the only thing still in play is what I decided to do next. So I really just took this as a chance to grab the bull by the horns, and I started going to office hours. I started doubling up on lectures. I looked up the class schedule for other professors so I could get additional instruction. And yeah, I just sat through the same material twice. And honestly, a big reason for that was just forcing myself to spend more time with the material. And there's really no other trick to it than that. For certain subjects, it just really helps to sit through material multiple times. And the exam is kind of the smallest version of this lesson. Everything that goes wrong works the same exact way, and the event is over the moment it happens, and your action is really the only part of it you own. And that's kind of my whole lesson. And it's number one because every other thing on this list kind of depends on this mindset. All right, now, item number two, which is do not let resentment build up over things you really can't control. So, for this item, let me just tell you a story that still gets me a little bit worked up, and that's kind of the point of this. Um, so, I got put in an engineering group for a lab with a guy who never communicated, he never did, he gave no responses, didn't show up, nothing. And at the end, this man took one of my entire lab reports, removed my name from it, and then submitted it as his own work. And look, I was a little mad about this, and I stayed mad about it for probably too long. But here's what I eventually noticed. Every time I look back on that story, it made me angrier than it really deserved. And months later, even. And this was over a guy who probably never thought about it again. And I allowed him to live rent free in my head, and he didn't even know it. So the lesson here is kind of you don't pick your engineering or just your assigned lab partners or even your partners in life. You don't pick most of the people life assign you, coworkers, classmates, whoever it may be. Some of them will do you dirty in the end, and a lot of that is completely outside of your control. Everyone out there has their own stuff going on, and dwelling on the ones that wrong you have nothing to them, and plenty to you. So handle exactly what's actually yours to handle and let the rest of it go. Resentment building up in the background is a cost that you're paying and nobody else, it never actually affects anyone else except you. So, yeah. All right, now I'm on to item number three, which is going to be keep the deals you make with yourself. So, if you've ever watched my channel overview, you know that this one runs really deep for me, and you need to keep the deals that you make with yourself. But here's kind of the main part of this I learned my freshman year, because everybody already knows they should keep their commitments, and the main mistake people make is starting with 10 of them. And you know exactly what I mean. Um, the Sunday night version of you signs up for the gym every morning, meal prepping, reading, and waking up at 6 a.m., along with journaling, and you want all of this to kind of start for you the next day, Monday. And by Thursday, the whole thing will collapse from beneath you, and you'll feel worse than when you started usually. So, my advice for this would be don't start yourself with a ton of obligations. Start with one and pick the single highest leverage thing that you think will have the biggest impact on your life, on your money, on your relationships, or just the one thing that you will not be able to get over until it's absolutely handled. And until you can kind of feel the improvement of this, you add the next one after that. So give it a week or a month, however long it takes for you to really truly feel the effects of this change, and then start stacking on more things slowly. And that's how everything I talked about in the overview video got built. And it was never all at once, and it was one deal held, and then the next day or next month, next week, I decided to add another one. Alrighty, now number 4 on the list, which is what works for you will beat what works for everyone else. So, number 4 really rides right along with this idea that you need to stay true to what works for you. And there's always a new trendy thing, a new morning routine, a new productivity system, a new diet. You guys, I'm sure, have friends who are always trying to put you on to new things to try out. But every few weeks, this trend sort of seems to change. And if you're always hoping to do the newest thing and you never actually run any system long enough for it to pay you back, that's just a failing path, guys. And here's the thing. You all are unique, and I don't mean that in a participation trophy sort of way. I mean your schedule and your brain and your goals and your problems are all specific to you, and these are a combination that not a single guru on the internet is going to be able to optimize for you. So when you find something that actually works for you, you'll know it because you can feel when something's working, and you need to really hold on to these things. Um, what actually works for you will always be what works for anyone else and what they can advise you, including me, by the way. So take everything in this video with a grain of salt and test it against your own life. Okay, now item number 5, which is going to be kill your fear of missing out. So college is definitely an environment where somebody is always doing something every night of the week, and there's always something going on, right? And your feed makes sure you see all of it. So whether it's Snapchat or Instagram, you're going to be able to see and notice what's going on campus. And it's this fear of missing out that will quietly eat away at your entire year if you allow it to. So you can't be everywhere at once, right? And trying to be everywhere means you are doing nothing anywhere at all. And here's the reframe that kind of fixes for me. The most valuable way that you can spend your time is really improving yourself. And that's the literally thing that you cannot miss out on because you're the only one who can show up for it. The gym, the skills, the reading, the projects. Nobody else is at that event and it pays you better than any party you could be missing. So, and on the friend side of this, if you watched my last video, you already know where I stand. Friends are absolutely necessary, but 50 friends are not. You need a handful of real ones, and past that, the math on chasing more just doesn't work out for you in the end. And item number 5 really segues nicely into item number 6, which is going to be that nobody will look out for you more than you do. So, number 6, and this is going to be the biggest mindset shift of the whole year. Nobody is going to look out for you more than you do. So here's kind of what I mean. Going to school is a choice, and somebody's paying real money for you to be there, whether it's you or your parents helping you out. And for a lot of us, that is usually ourselves and future us, and we have interest. So you need an actual plan for why you're even going to school. And I think the healthiest thing I did freshman year was drop the idea that college is about some sort of experience, especially being in the United States. This can kind of get played up a lot. And college is a transaction. You are trading money for years and skills and credentials and challenges. And this is a set of challenges you will generally be better for after you push through it. And it's really only beneficial though if you show up to it like it's yours to push through. And that being said, nobody's going to come and check in on you. The professor isn't going to chase you down about your grades. You need to be on top of that yourself. Nobody makes you go to class, and that's not a sad thing. That's kind of the deal, and honestly, I've really come to like it. It's freedom. And because the moment you accept that nobody will look out for you more than you do, you'll stop waiting on anybody else, and everything starts really moving for you. And if you're not in school, the same exact lesson stands still. It's just different building, and your job is a transaction as well. And you need to have a plan for why you're there and what your next steps in life will be. Alrighty, now let's get into item number 7, which this is definitely a really big one for me personally. Um, It's definitely real, and I told you everything on this channel is actually me, so it definitely has a spot on the list as well, and that is staying close to God and your faith. So here's what I noticed over the course of the year. I noticed it sort of as a pattern, the same way I noticed my phone becoming an issue in my life as well. If I ever began to feel bad, off, unmotivated, whatever you kind of want to call this, and I looked at what was going on in my life, it almost always correlated with the same thing, and that was a lack of prayer, a slow drift away from God, and it was never one big dramatic moment. It's sort of a drift, and it happens quietly, just kind of one busy week at a time. And you really need to make time for this part of your life because it can kind of pay you back in dividends more than anything else on this list. And the fix was the same every time for me. It was just get back to praying, being grateful for my life, and get back on track, going to church every week, keeping obligations. So, yeah, this kind of also goes hand in hand with keeping your deals with yourself. You need to keep your deals with God as well. Okay, now the next item is going to be serious people don't really build their lives around drinking. And this is kind of just another pattern I noticed, and it's number 8 on the list. And yes, I'm aware I told y'all the 30 rack story 2 videos ago, so I'm very clearly qualified to speak on this one. And here's my actual pattern from my freshman year. And it was that I drank maybe once every 3 months, so it was pretty much always for an occasion. But yeah, I usually kept it to something worth celebrating with my actual guys, and I watch what the other schedule looks like close because everybody in college gets to watch it. And every weekend schedule, and I'll just say it plainly, drinking and the weed thing are not activities that serious people build their lives around. And I've never really met an exception to this. I'm not saying never to have fun, and clearly I like to have fun as well. Sometimes it can be a little overboard, but I cover this a little bit. And I'm saying there's a difference between an occasion and a lifestyle. And one of them kind of costs you a night and maybe you feel shitty the next day, but the other one quietly costs you your entire life in the long run. And if you've got goals and if you're still watching this video, I definitely know you do. And this is one of the easiest edges to take above other people because half the people around you are kind of handing their lives away to these vices. All right, now item number 9, which is that all of the ducks are yours now. So this one kind of sets up similarly as last one, and it's that at some point you're probably around the age that every single duck becomes yours. And freshman year is the first time in a lot of people's lives where you're the one getting almost 100% of your ducks in a row. Classes, food, money, sleep, laundry, the gym, and when you wake up, when you show up, among almost a million other things, right? And every single one of those that used to be at least partially somebody else's job to help keep you accountable, now the entire flock of ducks is yours, and nobody's really checking in on you, except maybe intermittently from your parents or your friends or whatever it may be. And I'm not going to pretend I lined them all up perfectly when I came to school, but you've seen the other videos, and my ducks kind of ended up uh, turning into scrolling reels for a few hours at a time. But just realizing how this handoff kind of happened, and that it's all yours now, whether you manage it or not, the realization of this alone kind of changes how you move. Because unmanaged ducks don't wait patiently for you. They kind of wander off, and you can end up missing really important parts of your lives if you do not take care of your shit. All right, this brings me to the 10th and last item on this list, which is the one I kind of want to leave you guys off with because it is the answer to number 9 and honestly most of this entire list. So, when you look at everything you have to do at once, the classes, your financial situation, the gym, your skills you're developing, the goals you set for yourselves, and maybe the 10 deals you want to make with yourself, it kind of can look like a big daunting elephant. And sometimes it can be too big for people. And the size of it is exactly what sends people back to the scroll, because if you can't do all of it, some people may think, why do any of it at all? So the question I kind of want to pose to you guys is, how do you eat an elephant? Well, you do this one bite at a time, of course, and that's it. You need to commit yourself fully to your goals, and I'm talking the entire elephant. Decide you're eating the entire thing. And then once you do that, the only thing you're ever actually doing is taking one bite at a time and taking the next small step that's right in front of you. So this is kind of the same way I took my Calc 3 recovery. It wasn't really one heroic weekend. It was one office hour at a time and one extra lecture at a time. So, whatever your elephant is, and you know exactly what it is, the same way you knew your thing from my last video that you need to take on, the move is the exact same. You pick it and you commit to all of it, and then you take your first bite this week, and then the next week or the next day or whatever it may be. And guys, tell me about your elephant in the comments. Genuinely, let me know which of these 10 you needed to hear, or what your elephant may be, or your own number 11 that I missed. Maybe there's something on this list that you think I should have added. So I respond to everything in the comments, and y'all's comments have been one of the best parts of doing this channel. So please keep interacting with me. I really enjoy it. Thank you. Howdy guys, and thank you for watching another CrappieEngineer production. That was 10 things from my freshman year that I learned that I think will help me and many others out in their lives. So even if one of them lands for you, this video did its job. So like I said, drop your elephant in the comments, like and subscribe if you're into my journey at all. And I'll talk to you guys soon. And I really appreciate this outlet as a speaking practice for me. And I kind of already feel myself getting better. So this has kind of been my elephant as well.